Was that what's taken so long with this Epstein files?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What sex lawsuit, the Trump stuff? It's so obvious.
Yes, like known Epstein clients who are obviously extremely powerful, they're powerful politically and very wealthy, are Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and Reid Hoffman, and some others too, but those three. So, why was Reid Hoffman so intent on destroying Trump?
Do you think it's because they're worried about the list coming out?
Yeah, one of the reasons. Yeah.
Well, looks like Trump's on the list. What are we gonna do? Slow down, firecracker.
Yes, welcome back. Recently, Elon Musk had an interview on Joe Rogan podcast that discussed a lot, but there is one thing I saw I just want to share with you about this Epstein list. If you've been following this channel, realize I put out about 2 videos concerning this. A lot of people coming out to say, oh, Pam Bali should resign immediately. I said on that video, it is too early. Elon Musk had something very important on this podcast. It is widely been shared on social media.
Was that what's taken so long with this Epstein files?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What is up with that? It was like,
Yeah.
it's like Lucy and the football with Charlie Brown, when she always pulls that football away. It's the same thing. It's like they keep telling us they're going to release it day one. Oh, day
we have
one.
a serious case of no one's being arrested ophobia,
Well, there's also right.
Like, what's going on?
What's going on? Also, there's this real fear that someone's destroying the evidence, and you keep hearing these stories, unsubstantiated stories, of FBI people.
Well, where is
shredding.
the evidence? I mean, the guy had like tons of videos and recordings.
Yeah.
I mean, he had all sorts of things.
Right.
Like, there's a mountain of evidence.
Right.
So where's that mountain?
Yeah, where is that mountain? And what would be the reason why they would agree? Like, there would have to be something in it for them to agree to not put it out. Right? Like, there has to be some sort of financial entanglement, some sort of relationship with the people that are on that list.
Yeah.
That they can provide a value that was big enough for you to not release it, or to slow release it, or to hope you can get away with like putting out some redacted files that don't show anything.
Yeah.
This is only
a whole bunch
stage
of
one.
redacted.
Only stage one. Don't worry. The real stuff's coming. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't you just release it all? Like, what could possibly be worth protecting in there?
I mean, I think I've got probably the same information that, I mean, I'm just reading what's the latest thing on the X, I'm just looking at my X feed, and I'm like, it's a real page turner.
Well, looks like Trump's on the list. What are we gonna do? Slow down, firecracker. There's a big difference from flying with Epstein versus going to Epstein Island. Yes, Trump and Epstein were business partners to a degree. They had real estate interests together in the 80s. And yes, he did run into circles with the Democratic Party because he was a Democrat back then. He'd run with the likes of Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and others, and they revered him. They loved him. But what they're not saying and what they're not telling you is Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago back in October 2007 for hitting on a 15-year-old, a club member's daughter, and Trump banned him from Mar-a-Lago. Gone are the days that you can spew lies in the media, and especially on this platform. The American people are demanding exposure. The American people are demanding truth right now. The enemy's tactics is to lie, deny, and counter-accuse, and that's what you're seeing right now with this Epstein list coming out. People are immediately pointing their finger back at Trump. Don't be deceived or fooled by that. The truth is, President Trump would have to be an absolute idiot to campaign on releasing the list, knowing that it incriminates him. Sometimes if people would stop and think twice, they'd be the genius in their family.
Yes, there is something I saw. Epstein was an FBI informant. You will understand why the FBI office in New York want to keep it dealing with him a secret, because it will make them look very bad if it looks like they look the other way while he was doing this. That is the information I saw circulating on X yesterday. People suggested like this can be the reason they are hiding all this. I want you to know you thought.
What happened yesterday was a bunch of right-wing influencers were invited to the White House, and they were given binders that said like Epstein phase 1. It was, I'm not going to lie, this was a little awkward because it was very celebratory, and the Epstein story is about his alleged molestation and inappropriate behavior with very young girls. So it's just one of those things, you got to be careful because you don't want to look like you're celebrating anything having to do with that. So they got those files, those folders from Pam Bondi, and absolutely nothing was in them. It came out later from those influencers, among others, who I think were also disappointed. Nothing else, absolutely everything in there was already known. Not a single new thing was printed or offered. And this whole thing had been some sort of a rope-a-dope. They were not well served by the DOJ yesterday. The DOJ should have been more careful before they did that to some of the most ardent allies to the Trump administration. It was kind of bullshit. I was pissed on their behalf.
You said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk. When can we see them, and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. It logs a lot of names, a lot of information.
Maybe it's just me, but a lot of information sounds an awful lot like not all of the information, which is what all of us want. What I'd like you to say is we took the victims' names out and we are releasing all of the information, and everybody agrees with me. And if you don't do it, we're going to think you have somebody's on the list. Okay? And we're going to know. We're going to know. We're all nerds about this now, so we're going to know. I'll see you tomorrow, but we're all already fussy about this, so you better do what's right.
Someone told me that people will still be furious about this list. I would say it's a lie. It was like they have forgotten. When it came out, social media blew up everywhere. You want to pass, I was saying this. Now, we are getting story. Tomorrow is still there. I waited today. I have not seen anything. There is something more concerning. With these influencers dancing to this, people didn't see this normally. Like, are you celebrating? I really wanted to know why people were celebrating or dancing. You heard Megyn Kelly. She was very clear. Now going back into this video, I don't know, but before I do that, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor should do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video out.
Let's start with the absolute bust of Epstein. This was such a joke. So everything about this was poorly handled. I'm a big Pam Bondi fan. I love that she's running DOJ. One of the things she's doing right now, which I greatly appreciate, is she's dropping all the bullshit Biden DOJ investigations into various police and fire forces across the country for not lowering their test standards so that more women could get involved, or changing the test so that more African Americans qualified than actually passed the test. They were getting sued by Biden's DOJ left and right. Today, she's dropping them all. Great. She's doing a great job. But the Epstein file thing was a disaster. They embarrassed themselves, and it seems like a totally unnecessary thing. Like they stepped on a rake for no apparent reason.
Asking for these documents right when I came into office and before Kash Patel was in there. So I ended up getting about 120 pages. We carefully redacted them, of course, to be sure the 254 young girls, women who are victims of sex crimes and sex trafficking, their personal information was redacted and out of there to protect them. So I'm going through it and I kept saying, there has to be more, there has to be more. I'm assured that's it. Kash asked the same questions. Assured there's no more. I found out, this week that a source told me New York, SDNY, they're sitting on thousands of pages of documents regarding Epstein. Thousands.
What I don't want to see is a fact that people are already calling, oh, she should resign, she should resign. That should not happen. It is too early to start doing that. Just 1 month.
Are we serious people anymore? Are we dancing around holding binders full of monsters for a TikTok dance. What are we, have we lost our minds?
Unleashed, and already we saw the Attorney General Pam Bondi say that the scale of what happened is far worse than anyone realized.
And I do believe in that.
Laura is extremely disappointed when you take a look at her tweet 5 minutes ago. So basically, the Epstein file wasn't released today. The American people were lied to about a day one release, so they had to have an emergency gathering of paid influencers at the White House.
Well, over this will make you sick. 200 victims. 200.
AG Pamboni says the Senate is still holding thousands of Epstein documents which will soon be delivered to DOJ according to this man.
The bureaucrats to be traumatically affected.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, 5th time. So...
I work in the film industry. This used to be the mecca of filmdom.
It's left.
It is no more.
That's right.
And the tech industries have taken off, and many businesses in the industry, they just left. They blew out of town because
You're looking history, remember it.
As a country about James.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jim Jordan.
Josh Green, the governor.
Watch news or talk.
Now look, I have a lot of...
The Democratic Party is about everything.